Hey, this is Dwayne. Welcome to the Law of Attraction series, Quantum Mechanics. So, we need to really look at first one thing. The first one thing is you don't know what you don't know because you don't know you didn't know it. So you couldn't even ask the question. You didn't even have any idea. And this leads us to the very first concept. Who do you listen to? Anybody that has what you want and has been where you've been. Anybody that has what you want and been where you've been. And inevitably yourself, because you know everything. You always know. Remember lots of those times when people told you stuff and you're like, you know what, I think this person's pulling my leg or something like that. And guess what? They were. And you said, I knew that would happen. Why? Because you are creating your future. But we'll get back into more of that. The second concept is the teachability index. Willingness to learn and willingness to accept change. Willingness to learn and willingness to accept change. And you rate yourself on this. And anytime I've found for myself personally, anytime I've come to a situation in my life where I've had to make a decision, okay? I've had to make a decision, do this or don't do that. And so what I do is I use the teachability index to help me. I say, what is my willingness to learn this particular thing? And then I rate myself 1 to 10. And I look at it and say, what am I willing to change in my life in order to make this happen? Right? And I rate myself on that. Then I multiply the two together and I get my teachability index. The teachability index helps you work through anything in life. Because guess what? There's so much you can do. So much you can do. Why waste your time? And anything you really don't want to do, you're not going to do it 100%. And that's the key. What is my teachability index, right? So, and how it works is anything under 50%, I'd give it a pass. 10 times 10, you got a 10 on the willingness to learn, and say you got a 0 on willingness to accept change, it's a 0. 10 times 0 is 0. You will not achieve what you want. Now, the other say it's 10 times 10, 100%. You're a perfect student. Do it because you're going to kick ass at it because you're willing to do whatever it takes in order to make it happen. And that's the key point. Whatever it takes. Okay, those two principles right there will actually help you. Now we go back onto the fourth concept, which is the assumption of information. How do you take in new information as a human being? Well, the very first level of new information, we are, and I've found myself to be, absolutely ignorant. And the way that's actually put out there is unconsciously incompetent. Absolutely ignorant of the situation because I didn't know what I didn't know. I had no idea. Didn't even know it existed. Right? And then the second level comes to conscious incompetence. So I've just found out that something exists and now I'm totally incompetent of doing it because I don't know what to do. Okay? Then the third level is, let's say I did my willingness to learn was a 10, my willingness to accept change was a 10, perfect student, I start learning what it is that I wanted, I become consciously competent. And then we move into what's called the success cycle. The success cycle is, number one, success. You're successful on something brings you activity. It brings action. Action brings activity, right? And so this activity brings you more results, and those results bring you habits, and the habits bring you more success because just the act of doing it and then practicing it and doing it and doing it and doing it, what happens is you move into the last stage of conscious understanding, which is unconscious competence. You have now developed a good habit. So now we're looking at, I kind of been touching bases on atoms and stuff like that, and atoms intrigue me just in the fact that I always thought it was something solid. I thought it was something that was real, tangible, something you can touch. but it's just a frequency. It's just energy. And my question is, and you know, I make these so people will keep in touch with me and actually share with me their knowledge too, because we are one being. This is quantum physics, the very first law. Okay, the very first law states that there is one energy. All is one. We're all connected, right? And so what I don't know, sometimes somebody else does. It's called a puzzle piece. What I know, and that's why I don't really sell this stuff. I don't sell in this information, but I do ask that, you know, if you want to, on my very first lesson, I do have a PayPal account. If you want to donate, I would be more than happy. If you don't have it, do not worry about it. Like and subscribe and send to 7 people, and then ask them to like and subscribe and send to 7 people, and have them tell them to do the same thing. Because if we can get eight levels going, I'll at least contact 1.5 million people with a message of truth, hope, and happiness. Right? Truth, hope, and happiness. We are amazing beings. Now, why did I go into this stuff right here about the new levels of consciousness? Because there's a thing called epigenetics. And Dr. Bruce Lipton, they've known this stuff for a while, okay? We're 50 trillion cells. Our body is a cellular component, okay? It's vibrating at a very high rate of speed, and everything that's around us is a bunch of atoms that are developed within our bodies. And we cast them out of our bodies at 300 million cells a day. 300 million cells a day. We cast out these cells, and these cells are cram-packed with 7 billion atoms. They're like little eggs, right? And they're live. And we shoot them out there, and those atoms are what makes up our universe. Okay, Biology of Belief. Biology of Belief is the book by Dr. Bruce Lipton, foremost scientist. He used to be the physics teacher at Stanford University and at Harvard. He was the lead scientist on the genome effect. Okay, so we're sending out all these atoms, right? And these atoms are making up everything. It's making up this phone that I'm talking into, that I'm sending you messages, that you're receiving a light that's made of the same atoms that are just vibrating at a certain rate of speed, right? I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Amazing. We have an amazing universe, right? And so these atoms that are shooting out and actually creating stuff are just frequencies. We're sending out frequency patterns of ourselves. And every cell in your body produces 1.4 volts of electricity, okay? You're an energy being. 50 trillion times 1.4 comes to about 70 trillion volts of electricity. Okay, what does that mean? Well, that means that you can light up the northern continent of the United States for 1 year off of 1 second. 1 second's production. You, my friend, are absolutely amazing, and you didn't even know it. You are a fucking brilliant sun. You are a sun. Right? We are light beings. The word human stands for, the Hu stands for light or God. Man stands for being. That's Coptic or Old Latin. Okay? You are a light being. You're a God being. Okay? You create everything that's around you based upon what you've been thinking. What have you been thinking? That's what's around you. Okay? The art of manifestation is you're manifesting all the time. The law of attraction is everything that's around you is an atomic match to what you vibrate. How are you changing the vibration is the question. What is it that you want to change in your world? There's ways to change it, okay? I can show you. There's ways to heal your body. I can show you. If you need to talk and you want some healing and stuff like that, call me. 317-289-1851. 317-289-1851. If I get a whole bunch of calls, which I'm pretty sure I will, I mean, you know, realistically speaking, man, we have power. You have power. You can change anything in your world. If it's not going right, guess what? You can change it. You can change it. It's amazing. This is amazing. It's amazing, guys. We control everything. Even though there's people out there telling us that we don't control it. And the thing is, united we stand, divided we fall. United we stand, divided we fall. Keep away from solidarity, because your power is in your groups. Your power is in your people. We're so powerful. They've been trying to separate us for years. But brothers and sisters, we have this. We can do it. Blessings, my friends. Till next time. And remember, on the very first thing I sent, it has a YouTube thing on there. If you want to donate, feel free. If you want to call me, 317-289-1851. This is Dwayne. Or Zeus. They call me Zeus, my friends.